Poundcake this week and will continue to be Poundcakes in Mexico. But he did say before he left that he was still planning on doing the Poundcake Sports Break live from Mexico. So we'll see how that works out. He's traditionally sometimes unintelligible on a microphone. So we'll see how this works on a cell phone. Hopefully he'll have the wherewithal to find a landline, but I bet not.
I'm going to say no.
So we'll see.
No, because the whole reason he said he was going to do it is he's like, I have international calling. So he's going to call from his cell phone.
But he reads it off his cell phone. You think he transcribed it onto a hotel notepad?
Yes.
You think he transcribed
He didn't print it. Like, he didn't print it out on a computer.
Why? I'm sure they have a business center where he is.
He would have to have... He would have had to have... Right?
Sure.
Emailed himself.
Well, that's easily done.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out. I mean, it's an hour from now. We're going to find out.
I have a feeling he's going to hold the phone to his face and read it off of his phone. Does that make sense? Like, put it on speakerphone and read it while the phone
That would work, too.
The phone is 6 inches
that
from
would
his
work,
face.
too, yes.
Yeah.
But if he sounds like crap, I'm hanging up on him. So, just... yes?
I was just going to say, I gave those hot nuts another try in the break. Big fan.
In Fuego?
Oh,
so
yeah.
what changed between the first time and the last time?
I don't know. I think I only tried
Maybe you're just hungry.
I know I'm hungry. But the first time I only tried like 2 of them, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I was going handfuls at this point, and they are pretty good.
These are the Taki and Fuegos that somebody sent us a box of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taki Hot Nuts Fuego.
I enjoyed it very much. It's got the same like kind of flavor as Flamin' Hot Cheetos, but with a little lime on the end. I have changed my stance to a fan.
Well, maybe I'll try them again. I just found them to be strangely, the texture was weird, like they're crunchy, but then they get real soft real quick.
It's a peanut, so it's like peanut butter.
Oh, is it supposed to be peanut butter on the inside?
No, but when you chew up a peanut, it's going to get soft.
When you chew it up, not when you know what I mean. Peanut is so crunchy. Like there's, if you eat a chocolate-covered peanut, the whole thing is not mushy necessarily. Anyway.
Try it again. I have an open bag in the office.
I'll try another one.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay. I'll try another one. I still don't know.
Try like 4. Put I think 1 at a time in your mouth. You're not getting enough of the
No,
the
I'm
heat.
not going to fill I'm not a chipmunk. I'm not going to fill my mouth with
3 of them in there. That's not filling your mouth. How small is your mouth?
It's pretty small.
Okay.
426.
I'll try them again. It's the least I can do, right?
Made my nose run.
For whoever. Well, I don't want that. Well, I don't want to be in here wiping my nose.
How do you do with spicy, though? I'm like a wuss when it comes to spicy. But it's like a good flavor
Well, then this
spicy.
is casting your whole assessment in doubt.
Okay, just try it. I almost called you
will.
Brian. I'm so used to yelling at my boyfriend. I almost said, Brian, just try the peanut.
Imagine that.
Oh,
She's
right.
so used to yelling at her boyfriend that anytime she raises her voice above a certain,
Do you yell at him
level.
that much?
I don't yell at him, but we like play fight. So we'll jokingly get in arguments.
You know better!
About nothing. So like we'll be driving home or something, and he'll be like, you can get in the middle lane, and I'm like, Brian, don't tell me how to drive. And we both know we're joking because then he'll come back he'll like yell at me back or whatever.
But is
That
he
sounds
serious
playful.
about you can get in the middle lane?
Sometimes. I've been picking him up from work because he can't drive.
That would drive me crazy.
He was like,
I don't like riding in cars. I like driving a car. So if
Same.
I don't like being in the back seat. I don't like riding shotgun. I like driving a car. So if I'm driving and somebody's like, you can, I go, I know.
let me drive.
I know what I'm doing.
I've been picking him up from work for the last 2 weeks because he broke his foot, so he can't drive. And so I pick him up,
How does he
and
do his job?
he's doing like light duty. Like he's not driving the garbage truck.
Duty. It's usually when he gets in the trucks.
We get it. So I'm not driving home on a way I would normally take. So the first time I picked him up, he's like, hey, you can just stay in the left lane. And I was like, oh, okay. Like he drives this every day.
Yep.
So I stayed in the left lane, and then there was someone, or the right lane. There was someone going like 42 miles per hour in the right lane. And then he kind of sat there and looked at me and goes, you can still go around them and then just come back to this lane. I was like, do you want me to stay in this lane, or do you want me to go in the middle lane? And like, it sounds aggressive, but we are playing. Because then he'll
I
be
understand.
like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I get what you're saying.
I'll be like, well, Brian, what lane do you want me to drive in? And he'll be like, I don't know, run the car off the road. Like, so it's...
So you're half joking, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But we'll do it like at the grocery store. He'll be like standing there if we're shopping together, and he'll be like, what kind of ice cream do you want? Do you want Brownie Brick or Rocky Road? And I'll be like, what I want you to do is stop telling me how to live my life because I will leave you. It's like, you said that last week after you hit me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you got to change it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Your
understand.
half jokes were my full terror. I'm like triggered up in here right now.
It's fun, though.
First or second wife?
Second.
Second wife. Would yell at you?
Moving along. That's Offspring. This is MMS.
Hey, there you go. See? There's Corey Roddick. Pretty fly for a white guy, everybody.
Hit the post, not me.
So you do take him grocery shopping. But that's probably a shorter trip, isn't it, when he's with you? He ain't walking around no 45 minutes.
He takes a long time to do most things. So he's a very thorough person. So he can tend to be the up and down every aisle without needing it. So he is also a slow grocery shopper.
But he doesn't have a list?
He does have a list.
He doesn't trust the list.
I don't know what it is.
I see.
But he grocery
shops.
shops.
He goes, maybe something, I'll see something, it'll jog my memory.
Yeah.
I do need marshmallow fluff salsa.
Oh, gross. He might grocery shop slower than I do, to be honest with you.
Jesus, you grocery shop, from what you've described, very slowly.
But we have a good time. That's a place for
That's
us to have a ball.
important thing. That's the important thing. Honey, let's go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Like you guys are upset when there's a full fridge?
Kind of.
Yeah.
We're like, well, now,
damn
what are we
it.
gonna do?
Can we just throw this all out and go grocery shopping? Can we do that? Are you gals familiar with something called winter vagina? Because I had never heard of this before. Winter vagina.
That's a Yankee
It's one
candle.
of Captain America's. One of Captain America's nemesis.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Captain America and the winter vagina. Now, I was just reading an article about how gals need to be careful this time of year.
Got a chapstick.
Because it's bad news for your sex life that cold weather can cause something called winter vagina.
Is that so?
I've never heard of that. What are the symptoms?
Well, I'm going to tell you after I give away this money.
Frostbite?
Mary.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what we call a tease. It's $1,000, as promised. It's a chance for you to go fund yourself. Last few days for you to do this. So listen to each and every one of these keywords and get them in, and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword CASH to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's CASH to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
Dry and chapped lips can become more of a problem in the wintertime, but that drought, just being less hydrated, can affect all parts of your body. And so there was an article with a woman who was a nurse and a former midwife, a woman who dabbled in midwifery, if you will, said that women need to watch out for winter vagina. That it depletes moisture from the bodies any and everywhere. And that we spend a lot of time in air-conditioned rooms or with the heating on. She said, we're all year long, we're living in air that carries very, very little moisture. Right? So it's real dry in the wintertime if you have the heat on. It's when you have the AC on, there's no moisture in that. And now, there are two sides to this story, or there are people who think that that's nonsense. There are people who think that it's an actual thing, that winter vagina is real, and there are some other clinicians who will say nonsense, rubbish, codswallop, whatever you want to say.
Rubbish is a way to fix it, though. Dryness of is your issue.
Yeah. Just take care of it yourself, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the one woman says that it can be embarrassing and it can make sex very, very painful, and nobody wants that. So,
I do
it can be a debilitating condition, says this person. Of course, the other doctor disagrees, says it's fine, it's on the inside. It doesn't get affected by all this, but who are you going to believe?
I like this as an excuse for a guy that you're not that into. Like, no, it's not you. I get winter vagina. It's just, no, it's never happened before, but it's just, winter just dries it up, chap lips.
It means you're not getting anything for Christmas is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
Yeah. So the woman who says that it is not rubbish says that there are some things you can do to ameliorate this situation, right? To kind of fend it off. Have apple juice. Mm-hmm. They say it can sometimes just be a hormone imbalance. So make sure that you're getting a lot of things that are in apples. So juice.
Fiber.
Phytogenesis, whatever they're.
Worms.
Eat your greens. Eat
So
coconuts.
This sounds like something that happens to people that have a very bad diet.
I don't know about that.
Or a temperamental vagina.
I think a temperamental vagina might be more. If you're not constantly keeping a close watch on your pelvic floor, if you're not watching out what's going on, right? If you're not mopping up that pelvic floor from time to time, you're going to end up with winter vagina. She says, hey, don't take so many bubble baths.
Yeah, they're not good for you, man.
Throws off your pH, right?
Ah.
Yeah.
You need a ninny cam.
A ninny cam?
Yeah.
It's a ninny cam.
It's like a nanny cam. It's just pointed further down, I assume.
It's for a very specific part of your body.
Yeah.
For your ninny. Yeah, dude. Vaginas can be finicky, man. Whenever I've had issues with mine, a lot of the time, if they can't figure it out, they're like, it's probably just stress. I'm like, stress. And they're like, yeah, stress can cause a yeast infection. I'm like, I don't think that's real. And they're like, yeah, your diet's off.
Stress can do anything from what I
know.
It can give you ice coochie, it can give you a winter vagina, whatever they want to call it, right? Name it your own.
But yeah, it's not great being a woman.
At least that's the story you have to tell your boyfriend. It's stress.
I'm just so
Honey,
tired.
that's why I've got a green drip.
Maybe if you'd stop
Stress.
yelling at me when I'm driving.
We wouldn't run into this problem. Speaking of worms, that dude that they found out had a brain worm because he ate like poo food a long time ago or something.
Ew.
I mean, that's how you get worms.
Poo food.
But that's what I call it. But I mean, this guy had essentially a feces brain worm who we're opening for a speed rail, I believe, in a couple of weeks.
Right.
So look for them. Tapeworms found in a man's brain years after he had feces-tainted food. This is an otherwise healthy guy in Massachusetts, mid-30s, who started to have violent seizures. And they took him to Mass General, and they found that he had a couple-minute-long seizure once they kind of officially figured out what was going on. And they couldn't figure out what was up with this guy. And they said the only thing that they could come up with was that he had moved to Boston from rural Guatemala about 20 years earlier. They did a CT scan on him, and they found lesions on his brain. And he had a pork tapeworm that had migrated to his head and nestled in his brain. And they found
Nestled. That's like that always makes me think of that poem, the Christmas poem.
It's a nice little nestled in their beds for a long winter nap.
Yeah. Except this time it's a tapeworm.
There you go.
His brain.
Well, these larval cysts had nestled into his brain for a long winter's vagina nap. So, listen, I remember back in the day when the poop lettuce shut the whole Chi-Chi's chain down. Remember Chi-Chi's?
God, I loved cheese.
That place went bankrupt. The company went bankrupt because of the E. coli, whatever.
Yeah.
People were, they picked the lettuce and wiped themselves with it and put it back in the bag, whatever.
One whoopsie daisy 20 years ago. He's got a brain worm.
That's why that show, like Monsters Inside Me or something, you ever see that?
Yes.
Where they're like,
show.
we pulled out a giant worm out of your brain, and I couldn't figure out why I was having headaches. It's got claws in it, and ugh. And there's no way to know,
That's what I'm saying.
You buy like bagged salads, or you get stuff that you think is okay, and it could be all poop lettuce.
Well, it's like in 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days, there's this weirdo dude from Louisville, Kentucky, whose girlfriend, where she lives, Brazil, she lives on the Amazon River. And so
She lives on the river or on the banks of the river?
She lives on it. She's Jesus. She can just stand on the river.
She's Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
dude.
she walks on it too.
Yes.
Oh, I see. I mean, she could have just as easily like lived on a boat on the river.
on top of the
I see.
river.
She has otherworldly abilities. Well, no wonder he wants to marry her so quickly.
That's Paul, right?
Paul, he's a
And
crazy person.
He's so
So he bought like
Paul story.
like a full-blown bodysuit in case he wanted to get into the river with her. So he has on this bodysuit. He puts on 2 condoms, like to get into the water because he's so afraid of.
Yes,
like,
why wouldn't you do that?
And she lives there, so she just jumps in and she's like playing around and like being all sexy in the water. And he's got on like this full bodysuit, and he goes into like a porta potty to put condoms on, so
Yes.
that nothing swims up
Of
his
course.
urethra.
Yes. She didn't have to worry about the D fish crawling up there. Yeah, of course.
That guy is so. That's a really.
I hope that's
fun
not the
season.
crazy part. That doesn't sound crazy to me at all.
He packed like 4
He's
military-sized cases to take with him of stuff, like preventative
He's going to the
stuff.
Amazon rainforest.
But he's got to carry it all down the river. It's an ordeal. It's
why
just
didn't
a
she
lot.
come here?
This is part of it.
This
You
is
gotta go
before
there.
the 90s days. Like he had.
Oh,
to
you
go
have to
there
go
first
both
like,
places?
They had
establish,
never met
yeah.
in person, yeah.
Yeah, so he went down there. It's
Oh, he went. I don't watch the show. He went down to meet her there.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
How
had
did
never met before.
How do they meet? How do they virtually meet?
Online,
Internet.
wherever. Facebook or a dating app or something.
They meet online. But this is like a game show, right? Or
No.
no,
this
it's just
is-
a documentary.
They just find people that are in this situation because there's a lot of dating sites for people to meet. You
Internationally.
know, they're mail order brides.
Okay, so
basically.
they don't get married in 90 days.
When they get here, you have 90 days before your fiancé visa expires. So you're issued a fiancé visa when you get
Okay.
to America, but it expires in 90 days. So you have to get married in the 90 days that you come
So
here.
this is before the 90 days.
When they meet.
When they go down there and they meet for the first time, and they're making all the plans to bring her over.
So these are
But
the string of people who need green cards.
Sometimes
it's
they're
love,
actually
Alan.
in love.
It's all love.
Sometimes
It's
they're
always
actually
love.
in love. Sometimes they just clearly want green
I
cards,
live on the banks of the Amazon rainforest, but I really, really love you, American who lives in the middle of a city.
Paul.
I really love you, Paul.
yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
But they don't speak the
keeps
same
calling him-
language.
She keeps calling him Petey Herman. My name's Paul.
They don't speak the same language, and so they have to do everything through Google Translate. So
Mm-hmm.
he's just like talking into a phone, playing it for her, and this is like how they're communicating like they're getting in fights this way.
Thank God
great.
we've got
It's-
Google
oh.
Translate now.
Yeah.
His mom, before he left, gave him some of her hair. Took hair, human hair, gave it to him, and he was like, that was a really nice thing for her to do.
It's very intimate.
He was like, now she'll be with me on my trip.
There you go.
Dude, so he's like that. He made
Is
his,
he good looking at all?
No, he made
Okay,
his
so
girlfriend
he wants
take
a-
a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
when he
make
first
sure,
met her.
to make sure she wasn't like banging around because he's like, I'm not going to marry a pregnant girl. or
And he's
whatever,
wearing
and-
2 condoms, so it ain't him.
in a river.
Yeah.
But he also got in trouble. He went to jail for a little while because of a previous relationship where he like set their house on fire or
Yeah.
something. Because,
Wait, what?
Oh,
Yeah.
this is all coming together. So this is that because I've heard of Before the 90
gotta
Days.
watch it,
This
man.
is Before the 90 Days is a separate show,
Yeah.
but you have to watch that in sequence.
No.
You don't.
No.
Before the 90 Days is its own thing. So they're following people, and I think some of them get like their own like spin-off, or they'll end up doing the 90 Day Fiance thing too. But Before the 90 Day is like the best one.
It's pretty crazy,
It's
dude.
like 90 Day Fiance. It's pretty, it's okay. But the Before the 90 Days, like there's like these old women
5 seasons.
that go to Africa. They're like,
Yes. Oh, she was from
Oh
like
my God,
Alabama or
yeah.
something. This huge white trash lady, big fat girl, goes to like Nigeria or something.
and she's like
for
in
this,
her late 50s or early 60s.
and this like 20-year-old that he's obsessed with Donald Trump, so he like wants to come to America to be like Donald Trump. Dude, the show is insane.
Mary, I believe white trash is not the preferred nomenclature anymore.
Don't tell
I
me
believe-
about my culture.
I believe it's Caucasianly disadvantaged.
But he was someone, when you say you're worried about like brain monsters and stuff like that, he was one of he wouldn't eat any of the food. He was eating like
well,
bags
then
of
is
chips and stuff.
but is the culmination of the show anybody getting married?
yeah.
Yeah, like they get married
lot
while
of
he's
them do.
down there, and then like it makes it way more difficult for
For her to
over
get to America because they got married in it's a mess because they got married in Brazil.
Oh my God! Why would they do that? She wants to
Because
get
he's
to.
an idiot.
She clearly wants to get to America.
Yeah.
I want to live in a. All right, cool. Well, then I definitely got to check that out.
It's
I'm looking
wonderful.
for a new show to
It's
binge.
wonderful.
All right.
Season 1's the best.
No, because once you get to season, I think it was 4 or 5 with Big Ed, the guy that's got no neck. You probably haven't even seen this one.
No.
He goes to the Philippines. That's the best season. Oh my god, it's so good.
Look at you.
It's so good. I was watching all this last year
During quarantine,
Yeah,
yeah.
during quarantine, I went through all these.
Oh,
seasons,
Big Ed is big.
but he's not. That's the craziest thing too. He's like 4'10". And he lies about his height, and he gets to the Philippines.
It looks like the girl's real foxy, though.
And the girl,
They
but
always
she's
are.
also like 20 years old or 21 years old, and
he
he's
looks
got
like
a daughter
Bubba the
that's
Love Sponge, this guy.
He's got a daughter that's like 4 years older than her, and like she stops talking to her dad because he's going to get this mail order bride from the Philippines, and
The guy does mukbang videos.
oh man, he's
Dude, it's wild.
All right. Well, I'm not one for too much trash TV, but I am looking for something.
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe. Okay. Let me take a break here. You want to get a text for anything? 35192. Listen wherever you are on the iHeartRadio app.